Wowzers. Wow. It is, let's see. It's November 13th, 2024. Approximately nearly 2 years have passed since I first got into Oshinoko. Though it was actually during the pandemic when I had first heard about the series in general, but it was only in Japanese at the time, and I felt lazy. So I kind of forgot about it until the anime got announced, and then that's when I decided to actually do homework before the premiere, and I started reading the manga, and that was about February, early March. No, it had to have been February 7th, 2023 when that happened. And I really enjoyed it. The last arc has been kind of so-so for me. I feel like they rushed through a few things. They could have taken their time, kind of elaborated on a little bit more stuff, but the end has finally come. Today, we're gonna read through the final chapter, live on stream. Usually I do this when I'm done with the stream, as I had done for many other chapters, but this chapter is special because it's the final one. Woha! Woha! So, enough wasting time. I think it's time for us to finally start reading. I have absolutely no spoilers going into this because for the past few chapters I'd been getting a little bit antsy and I'd been reading spoilers, but for this chapter I didn't do that. I stayed away from the internet. Well, let's do it. Oh wait, hold up. I think this frame is coming up. I can't show the entire image, but hopefully you get a good picture, or a good view of what's being shown. It's Hoshi no Ai from her Bikomachi days. Ain't she pretty? Oops. She's got the starring on. The last chapter is called Star. Star! In this world where all you can think about is dying. Me. Where all you can think about is dying. It's impossible to live without encountering sadness. Nampo-chan's seat. A mother something, her son something, student, suspicion. Suspect wanted for assault and robbery has been arrested in Hiroshima Prefecture. Wowzers. The world is dark. You have no hope for tomorrow. Translated by Felicia Sumali. Lettered by YKS Services. Edited by Jordan Reynolds. Media Doko. YKS Services. Wowzers. There's text on the floor that says Namapo-chan's seat. And no dreams. We have a person with a wheelchair. In this world filled with people like that, Ruby was crying the whole time. Oh yes, because Aqua passed away in the last chapter. She cried more than anyone else. All her eye poster is gone. She ripped it down. Oh. She cried and cried again. This is sad. But still, she rose up and clenched her teeth without being able to sort out her feelings, without anything to save her. And with all the pain and sadness she was carrying, she began to run. We chose to live. Is this Akane? Is this Akane, narrating this? Memcho's room. I wish I could read that. Announcement. I'll take a break for a while. Very, very, very VTuber-esque. Memcho. I can't read that text. Her description is a mystery. 310,000 views 1 hour ago. From Memcho, YouTube channel 100. I've got 1 million subscribers. Oh, I see. Sad news. Oh. Kinda opened the door. And you have Memcho, who is also crying. And then you have Kana, who is also crying. And then they're getting up. We chose to search for the meaning of our lives, while occasionally remembering you, who have passed away. You have some of the school kids, like Fruit. I think that's her name. Shiranui Fruit? Or is it Nui? You know what? I don't know. And then you have that Graverchik, whose name I can't remember. We have Melt, who's running somewhere. Maybe he's in track. It's not easy. Himagawa something. Oh. Family grave. Oh shit. That's his half-brother. We have Miyako. Miyako and her husband, whose name I can't remember. What is it? Strawberry? Oh yeah, Ichigo. Meh. But we believe that if we do our best at what we do... Oh, she's getting up. What is that zombie? What the hell? Ooh. Dokiri. Bikomachi auditions for those who aspire to be the #1 star in a legendary idol group. Ichiban hoshi ni naritai anata, densetsu no idol group. I'll find a reason for living. There's the director guy. The one who lives with his mom. Japan Academy Best Award next to a picture of Akalu. Ruby kept running, you know? Hiding her sadness with lies. Forcing herself to smile. Bringing out the darkness in her hearts when it mattered most. She used everything she could to carry on with your dreams. There's Akane rocking the blue sweater. Did I say blue sweater? You know what? That's fine. It can be a blue sweater. The world interpreted her tragedy as a drama. They were fascinated of the story of Ruby Hoshino, which was full of reality. She became someone they couldn't take their eyes off of, and today, yes, it's the day Ruby-chan and Bikomachi perform at the Tokyo Dome. Look how big that place is. Wah! Wah! Surely this is the day everyone, including you, were dreaming of. Bikomachi, Dome Live, Starlight! She's come this far while telling herself lies. I like her poofy shoulders. That's cute. Oh, huh. I could see that freaking Kana stuck to her guns and left. I think. Yep, she's in the audience. Rah! About not being sad. I think those lies have given something. Uh-oh, I see Crow Girl. To someone living in darkness. Oh, the person in the wheelchair from earlier. Dear God, she must have been born. It's like the darker things get, the brighter she shines. Oh, she must have been born to bring light into the darkness, like the stars into the night sky. That's a pretty ass shot. Look at all those freaking starlights. Wow! Look how happy she is. Oh, freaking Memcho's crying. Ichigo took his sunglasses off. Finally. 2 stars underneath the sky tonight. Happy Town. 5:31. 5:30. Schedule rehearsal. I'm working again today. Ugh. I have to tell lie after lie. No matter how hard things get, I have to smile and have fun on stage. But this is an incredibly fun job. Watch me, you two. I'm going. To the future that Mama and Aqua illuminated. Oh, you have a freaking eye plush. That's so cute. For me. I'm off now. Wow. It's really over. Huh. What do I do now? Wait. Somebody that I was reading a comment on Reddit, and they said that, like, they hoped that while she was performing, it would be, like, kind of alluded to that, both Aqua and, I were in the audience, but it was just kind of, like, left to the reader's interpretation. I kind of would have liked that idea. But you know what? This is okay. This is okay. I'm a pretty easy person to please. Whoa. Maybe this is all just a big fever dream and she's actually going into the afterlife. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, let's read comments. I dread. I'm just kidding. Everyone has the right to have an opinion. If they like the chapter, cool. If they don't like the chapter, that's also cool. So it's finally over after 166 chapters in over 4.5 years. As usual, I ask the users here to follow the 24-hour rules. One person says, "Lamau." I would have preferred even the unassist ending. Oh my god, such a brutal. I would just want to wrap it up, finish it, and be done with this. We still get narrator Akane and see her dumb, weird TV skit? Wowzers. Kana helps Mem move on, and both of them encourage Ruby. Ruby becomes I 2.0 and goes on living while hiding her despair to realize her dream, which will last a few years at most, unless she, you know, starts acting. The opportunities will probably be there. Good job, Aqua. You really saved your sister. Wonder what she'll do once she retires. Of course, the chapter by itself is not really horrible, but everything that came before makes it completely hollow. I feel nothing. I hope that they remake this, or at least flesh it out more in the anime. The ending is so good and well written. People are just blinded by ships and forgot what Aqua didn't even want to live Aqua at the beginning. I was just trying to avenge Ai. But at the end, he tries to protect Ruby. The one he couldn't protect is Goro. Oshinoko Wednesdays are no more. It's one of the endings of all time, that's for sure. Kana never got to confess her love. Akane failed to save the man she swore to protect. Ruby is smiling outside but broken inside. Everybody is suffering, including the readers. Oh my god. The only winner of this manga is the corrupt idol industry, as Ruby takes her mom's place as a cash cow, and the toxic culture regarding idols. All that smack barely changes at all. Aww. While everyone isn't alright in this chapter, we have to congratulate Memcho for hitting 1 million subscribers. Yes. So is there a break next week? Fucking classic, I love it. Not beating the infinite weekly allegations. Don't go gently into that good night. Oh wait, I can take the image off now. Me. Cool. Alright. Don't go gently into that good night. More like a month. There's a chance that the extra chapter won't be in Manga Plus. And if it wasn't then, I hope our old buddy Olpier comes back one last time. Aka's too busy with those Apex tournaments. Aka's Apex break sessions are now weekly. At least this chapter doesn't make it worse in my eyes, but boy, what a silly cliche fest this was. And again, speedrun. That's how we know Aka. Sad Taiki lost his car and his brother in a short time. So the manga that's all about how you should find genuine happiness with people you care about and not get involved in an industry that only lasts till you're 25 at most, ends with, frick the family, go chase the bag till the industry casts you aside. Aka, what the fudge? This could have been a really good ending, if not for the chapters that came before it. Ruby was deprived of vital buildup, and while I do like her and have wanted her to be the one getting more attention this whole time, she doesn't really deserve this protagonist position that was thrust on her literally on the butt end of the story. The only characters who've had the buildup to warrant this were either Akane or Aqua. Or maybe I should change my wording. Ruby deserves this position, but she didn't earn it. A genuinely good and compelling character that was tossed aside by the writer. Something that could have fixed this very early on was not making her go nearly AWOL during the Tokyo Blade arc. We didn't really see her that much, did we? So you're telling me that Ruby Hoshino was willing to kill Hikaru for killing Goro, and was only saved by Aqua revealing his past identity due to how dependent she was on him, before then proceeding to kiss her brother, and the same Ruby Hoshino who just said, "I won't be like mama," a few chapters ago, gets both her feelings extremely oversimplified and out of character for even her, brushing off Aqua's death so quickly, despite everything that happened beforehand. Even if it wasn't quick in the real time of the world, it took literally one chapter for her to go from a low point of 0.0 to 100, with this yap pilly ever after ending. And her story concluded in the same way like I. Don't get me started on Kana. What the frick? I feel we just skipped the entire grieving process chapters, and 1.5 chapters does not flippin' count of the very event that the whole series has been building up to since the beginning, which is Aqua's death. Right after her funeral breakdown, Aqua suddenly writes her off as mostly fine? Now? What the smack? What was the point of the whole thing? The cautionary tale of the revenge of Aqua Hoshino? Meh. Even then, Aqua failed with that because in the end he didn't do it for flipping revenge. He was willing to let Hikaru go off the hook like a fool until he realized he needed to kill him to protect Ruby. The Dome concert is barely even shown, one of the freaking things the manga has been building up to like in like 10 chapters, and even that was overshadowed, which is all that about Kana's graduation. I'm gonna be your star. Crocodile's existence of Kana going on and on and on about saving Aqua. Is the payoff in the room with us right now? The thing that misses me the most is that Aqua did not need to die. Aqua just wanted to write a cautionary tale of revenge and sacrifice, but he failed to do that flipping properly because Aqua's motive for killing himself unnecessarily was to protect Ruby's reputation, as if she'd prefer that over her brother being alive, and the manga treats it as if he's done a heroic thing. He could have asked Akane for help, for flip's sake. If Hikaru can hide dead flippin' bodies with a clean rep for so long with Nino, Aqua and Akane with their connections could have defo done better. If the moral is to look for others to help instead of doing things yourself, then why romanticize Aqua's needless sacrifice so much? He's practically barely an adult. Not counting Goro, he didn't even need to die, which is my biggest gripe with the ending. And why is it executed so flippin' silly? This climax was arguably one of the most unsatisfying endings I've ever seen, because it feels like Aqua just wanted to get this smack over with, and like half the pace was missing. I do feel like the pace was a little bit too fast. Perhaps they're right about the whole death thing. Well, let's continue. Ruby's character really fell off a cliff. No. That was Yuya who fell off the cliff. I was expecting something more, but we reverted to the status quo of lies. Akane and Kana are also still suffering, with never reaching the conclusion they desired. Where other mangaka at least care about the manga, it seems Akka stopped caring near the endgame. Very disappointed, and I don't think even the anime can save this. We'll see, maybe they'll expand on it. Who knows? Maybe it'll be like a Bleach Blood War arc, where things just get kind of fleshed out a little more. Ain't no way anyone reads this and thinks, yeah, I'm happy with this ending. What a satisfying conclusion. There's definitely some regrets. Ruby might actually... It's I, not Ruby. Like I would have thought. If the story had been driving to the point, I would have been okay. But it wasn't even getting there. I thought Aqua and Ruby would fix their father, but we only returned to the original plan of killing him. What was the point of explaining his darkness, and then making him double down on it? Aqua never even told anyone what he was doing. It only led to Ruby coping that since her mother and brother died for her, she has to work extra hard to be an idol and shine for everyone. She had to be a light in the darkness that everyone would love. In the end, Ruby is living for the dead, not for herself. She can have fun with it, but she's not even living for herself. She has to pretend she's happy when she's always hurting inside. It's so dark. Is that really a moral that Aqua wants to give out? It's a broken ending for everyone. Kana is forced to move on, probably won't experience love for anyone like Aqua's again. Taiki lost his little brother, another one of his family. Melt never gets to show Aqua his true potential. Memcho and Aqua never got to hang out again. Though I will say, they didn't really hang out all too often anyways. Except for that one time. Ichigo and Miyako band together and keep producing, even if there's still so much pain. And Akane, oh my god, Akane couldn't pay back what she owed to Aqua properly. Everyone just has to stick together and move on, even with all this unfinished business. There's so much that should have been explored before ending like this. I liked Kaguya-sama's ending well enough, but that had issues with the final arc, and too much darkness. Renai Daiko should have had more comedy before bringing in the darkness. It's really what led to it ending early. Akka has another manga incoming, a fantasy one with the artist of Record of Ragnarok. I'm not sure I can look forward to reading it at all if the same kind of darkness will permeate throughout the series. I'm still gonna give it a chance. Thinking about that new comic, I will defo give it a chance. Moral of the story, keep lying until it doesn't destroy you from the inside. Basically, fake it till you make it. Really enjoyed the part where Ruby shouts, "It's Oshi no Ko time" at the last panel. Akka somehow managed to go so far they actually glorified Aqua's death. The darker things get, the brighter she shines. Pretty much makes it seem like she became a better idol because he died. What is the story even about? And obviously the unresolved plot point of who is Crow Girl and what happened to her and why was it so important Aqua and Ruby get reincarnated. Oh shoot, he's right. I would have liked to have a little bit more information from her as to regards to that. Dang. Read this visually stupendous, emotionally effective yet maddeningly scattershot manga at your own risk. 6 out of 10. Okay, first off, I take back everything I've said about Akaska. I'm never going to be able to say his name right. Akaska. Woo! Awesome. Being a morally bankrupt author. I went too far, and those words have no place in criticizing his work here in Oshi no Ko. For everything he did wrong here, he did more good in shedding light on a horrifically exploitative industry to an audience that desperately needs a messenger capable of speaking their language. You're speaking my language! Anyways, on that front, he more than succeeded, and I am beyond grateful. But I won't take back my words about his writing being artistically bankrupt. Not when we've seen him do better. Not when other writers in Shueisha have balanced personal stories, industry drama, and paranormal elements more consistently, and not when the route that gives us a more satisfying closing art was so obvious that both Western and Japanese fans have been screaming at him for the past year. This potentially more than Attack on Titan, oh boy, should be a case study on how not to back oneself into a corner so late in the story's run. Aka had insane momentum, firing on every cylinder throughout the manga's run, and it makes his decision so provocative and compelling that it's impossible to resist turning those pages because every character has a say on what they want to do. Aka's fatal blow was that he never let those characters breathe. He kept pushing them in directions that only made the barest of sense in hindsight or affected poorly on the precedents they set before. It's not Flanderization, I don't think, and thank God for that. But the final result here feels more insulting than a full-on Flanderization because you can tell they're so close yet they are actively barred from reaching the conclusion they want and need. But I was fine with Kaguya-sama because its tone was light enough and the people there have endeared themselves enough for us that anything that seems out of turn for them is forgivable. But we're dealing with people over 18 here. They have agency. We saw them grow in real time. We saw them and heard them be willing to go the distance to get what they want. And it feels like both of these characters and us readers were deprived of the kind of closure that allows them to more smoothly move on. More than any other plot hole, it's that feeling which makes this such a frustrating manga. And it's not even a case of undoing what Hajime Izuyama did. It's simply a case of Aka stopping construction right when he needed to bring his A game the most. The bones of a banger denouement are right there, and he even had it set up right. But it's as though he never had a follow through because he closed off every other way forward and was left with nothing but wall after wall. And in his arrogance, he thought he could just smash through these walls thinking it's fine. I'm so willing to give this manga a solid 4 out of 10 final rating and return a year later telling anime onlys not to bother reading the rest of the way because Aka will burn all goodwill from them. I still might, because from exit reactions I've seen how Aka has officially burned all goodwill from his fans. But I'm not throwing away at everything that came before because of this. It would be a greater insult to do that when, again, its foundations are set in granite, unshakable and endlessly entertaining. It would be a disservice to Ai, Goro, Serena, all these characters, and the other characters if they don't get a chance to tell it in full, no matter what happens at the end. Most of all, it would be a disservice to Yoko Yari Mengo, who is nothing less than a freaking truly magnanimous force, giving us some of the funniest, most beautiful, and perpetually memeable panels around. Fortunately, I cannot in good conscience call this a great manga anymore. I won't fight anyone who will continue to hold Oshi no Ko in high regard even after this, but I won't oppose anyone who would steer new readers away. I feel like the story didn't have anything to say. Is the entertainment industry truly bad or not? Are lies good or not? Is it bad to idolize idols? Or is it just some people are bad and others are good? He kept everything vague until the end, so everything is just up for interpretation. I don't think there's a wrong or right answer because everything was unresolved and not shown. Even with shipping, you can make arguments for 3 girls since Aka didn't want to commit to 1 girl. With the chapter, Ruby deserved an entire chapter just about her grieving instead of it being shoved in the final chapter. Even Kana got more pages focusing on grief, despite Ruby being Aqua's twin, the co-main character. And the burning reference feels very forced. What burning? Did I miss something? Probably. I'm disappointed Aqua died, but I also never felt like he had any growth. I was confused when he suddenly had white stars after the time skip, and then I was willing to forgive Hikaru after everything that happened. 159 onwards felt more like the Aqua I remembered, the depressed and suicidal guy. I just didn't expect Aqua to actually kill him off. The only goat is Mango, who cooked some great art from start to finish. They really improved, too. I remember some of the earlier panels being a little bit more etch and sketch. A little bit, just a teeny bit. But the ones near the end? Mwah! Chef's kiss. And then Ruby got stabbed after she left the house. Sorry, being too much invested in this manga and we'd got an ending like this is so flipping painful. I just have no words. He can start an incredible narrative, but is he terrible at ending one? In the later arcs after Season 2 just paled in comparison. Kinda had no impact on the overarching narrative. Take her out and the story remains the same. What am I supposed to take away from this? I see. Classic example of a story starting great, crash to hellfire levels. Yenning betrays almost every idea set out to achieve. Wow. Oh. Bottle up your pain and smile because that's the best possible way to live. Ruby shouldn't have become exactly like Ai's method of living was toxic and not good for her personally, and the 15-year lie demonstrated exactly that, yet the end of the story, Ruby is the same. It's like, time to be exactly the same, not talk about my problems. We really got narrated panels of Ruby's grief and moving on rather than any actual dialogue or thoughts. Akane's great, but she's not the narrator. Ruby is supposed to be the deuteragonist. Am I saying that word right? Whatever. We should actually get her own thoughts and feelings, not just a narration. You cooked a salad. Which had some... Kana never ended up together with Aqua, while also having her slap his corpse, making her look bad. Akane couldn't save Aqua, meaning that she failed the one thing she set out to do. Miyako lost the boy she raised as her son since he was a baby, on top of losing Ai. Ruby lost the most important person in their life again. And the worst part is that their grieving was just rushed through. I see. Well, I think I've read enough. It is very obvious that this ending was not what everyone was hoping for, and that's okay. That's okay. As for me, I know I said I'm easy to satisfy and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna lie, I was also a little bit sad. Would I also have wanted things to be a little different? Kind of. I mean, yes, definitely. As for how, though, I have no idea. But, I will say this. A person earlier mentioned how it mentioned a lot of the issues with the industry, and whether or not that's 100% true, 100% false, or somewhere in between. I still appreciate the story for this. But yes, my biggest issue is things were rushed through. And when it comes to somebody's death, especially the main protagonist, you kind of need to let that sink in a little bit more than just 2 chapters. Just give that more time. Or, switch some things around. But yeah, everything that I read, like all of the Redditors' experiences and their their feelings and their impressions of the story as a whole due to this final chapter are absolutely valid. I'm glad I got to read the perspectives. And it's like, I do kind of agree. Of course, my words have never been like super charged, so I can't really say too much, but I very much... Am I repeating myself? I probably am repeating myself. But it's okay. It's okay. We're just gonna try again with a different story. And hopefully that story keeps its momentum from start to finish. Now, what is that story called? I have no flippin' idea. Let's find out. Let's see here. Final volume cover of Oshi no Ko. This is really cute. Now that the manga has finally ended, I have one question. Why did Aqua have to go to the extent of killing himself along with Hikaru? If I'm not missing anything, with Nino confessing his involvement in Ai's murder in the movie, they had more than enough evidence to convict Hikaru at this point in the story. Even if he was not immediately convicted, at least his actions would be monitored, which would make it near impossible to kill Ruby, and even if somehow he got away, all Aqua had to do was hide Ruby. Maybe run away and take a vacation in Hawaii. There were thousands of different methods he could have utilized to make sure Ruby was safe. For some reason, he threw himself off a cliff. The manga will end tomorrow. Oh my god. What was that new story he was working on? Akaska new manga. What is it called? Oh, let's read this. Has been rated not so happy. Ajichika, familiar with more action style illustrations. What's the name of the story though? What's the name of the story? What's the name of the story? I'm running out of time. Working on a new manga. I don't think we have the name of the manga. To launch new manga soon. News about new manga. And yes, I am using Microsoft Edge. Let's see, one day... Wait! The series will be set in a fairy tale world and will involve a prince and princess guided by fate. Wowzers. Well, we'll have to see what happens. I'll definitely check it out because I want to believe that maybe Akaska can use his experiences and maybe just take a little bit more time, you know, just don't rush through it. We'll have to see though. We'll have to see. Anyways, sorry about that. My generator exploded and I had to go clean it up. It took about 3 days and 3 nights. Anyways, Oshi no Ko is finally over. And I think I've read all that I need to read about perceptions. I will definitely give his new series a chance, the fairy tale thing, when that comes out. And that is pretty much it. I just don't know what to watch in the meantime, or to read in the meantime. You know, this is unrelated, but there is a series on right now called Dandadan, and I was thinking of maybe watching and reading that. What? Tell me what you think. I heard it's like stupid popular right now. The characters are really cute. There's this guy with a bunch of fuzzy hair and glasses, and then there's this chick who looks like she could punch a wall and not feel anything. So maybe I'll check that out, and hopefully it'll be super, super good, and, yes. But that's completely unrelated. Or maybe not. Who knows? I'm going to bed now. Actually, wait. I have to go eat lentil soup. The story moves on, even if the story has ended. That does not make sense. Good night.